Okay, I'm going to start recording. So, I don't have a script for this. I don't know what I'm doing. Don't have anything planned. Don't have no notes. I am just going to I'm just going to wing it and talk about Corsair iCue. They just came out with a new version maybe a month ago, less than a month ago, relatively recently. Um, I fumbled upon it by accident. I don't usually follow Corsair news too closely, but I found it and I'm enjoying it quite a bit. It's got a lot of the same features. This has a new interface and it's a little easier to follow, but I thought I'd kind of go through and just kind of show where everything is, and show anybody that might be new to iCue how to use iCue. Um, it's relatively easy, not too complicated, but it can be overwhelming, I think, at first. And actually, I've found it quite overwhelming trying to find settings or find settings in the new version. Um, so you're probably gonna see me stumble around and look for things here, but we're just gonna record and see where it takes us. Okay, so this is the new iCue, and right off you see all my different iCue devices that I have plugged in. I've got the headset, which I'm using now with the microphone from the Virtuoso SE. I've got a Commander Pro where I have 3 RGB lights plugged in, and I use it as a controller to control the other fans in my system. The other fans are lower quality, so they're not super quiet. So I actually have the settings on those turned down so that they don't spin quite as loud. But the nicer fans, RGB ones, are quite nice, so I can speed them up and enough to cool the system down. See, I got the Dark Core Pro, and I got the K95 RGB Platinum. And it shows the dongles separate. I know I've got the new Slipstream, I think it's called, dongle that comes with the Virtuoso. It's supposed to be able to support multiple devices. Actually, no, got that backwards. It's this one here. It's the Dark Core Pro dongle that has a strip stream. You can see the Slipstream logo there on top of that dongle right here. So maybe in the future, I know they've been doing beta testing with that, but I should be able to use one dongle to control both my headset and my mouse. So right off, you've got different scenes that you can select. You can also create a new one if you want, but we won't go into that too much. But they can make it easy to make some quick settings. So I selected rain, and if I click on the keyboard, you see that it's got this little picture of your keyboard and shows what lighting is going on your keyboard. Yeah, I don't think, yeah, they do show you the lighting on the headset as well as on the mouse. Let's go back home. And then you just have these different settings you can select here, different scenes. It doesn't let you really see the lighting on your fans because it doesn't really know what your fan setup looks like. Okay, so that's what you got there. You got sensors here, which you can add as sensors. Say you want to track your water cooler, fan, or temperature. You can add that, and boom, it pops up there. You also have your dashboard, which you can leave on your screen, on a secondary screen, while you're playing a game or streaming or doing whatever. And this has different stats on your computer. You can add other settings. You can add like your headset. Select that. And then you've got your let's settings that you can change, your equalizer that you can change right on the spot here without having to go into settings. And then you can just keep adding multiple things on there the way you want. Okay, pure direct, we'll leave it that way. So let's start with the keyboard, because that's where a majority of my settings are going to take place. Oh, well, let me change this to one of my current profiles. So these are different profiles. I have them set up in different folders. And I'll go into that a little bit more later, because I actually have some keybinds that switch between these three main profiles. And then from within these profiles, I click the middle mouse button to switch between them. So hold on, something's not right. Oh, okay, it's not right because I have this stupid thing set, so I turn that off. And then let's say, but as I hit my F5 key, it switches now to my new folder setting, my nuclear setting. Hit it again, it jumps to Sea of Thieves. Switch between that. When I want Sea of Thieves, I then push the middle mouse button. Between the pro. Same thing here. Sea of Thieves, and we're going to go here. Key assignments. This is where you can program any key you want in the keyboard. Say we want to make a new assignment, default to keystroke 1, and you can pick what that does. You can do mouse movement, do keyboard movements, keystroke. You can type text, say media, all these different things. So you can play a macro. For a quarter macro, so it's actually recording mouse movements there. Let's stop that. Go to advanced. There used to be a place where you could tell it what to record. So you can tell it to record delays. Mouse movement, you can turn that off if you don't want to record the mouse movement. Mouse wheel, scroll, mouse clicks, and all that. So you can tell what you want it to record. So if you just wanted keystrokes, you might put in delays and just turn everything else off. Or you can turn the delays off as well. But then it will record whatever you tell it to. And then, say here, let's just do this. We'll do that. Call it macro. And delete. Let's delete this and start over. So delete. Delete all events. Okay, so let's go journal. And let's just do. Let's just do mouse movement, so you can just see the mouse moving around here. Okay, recording, hit record, and we're just going to move the mouse around, and then stop recording. Okay, so then from here, you can then select a button on your keyboard. So I'm going to select that button there. So now if I hit the minus button, the mouse then moves around. And boom, that's it. Now it does movement from where you start, so if I put it over here, it's going to do the same thing over here. Same movements. Just by pushing the key that I've assigned to it. Relatively easy. So you can do any macros that you want using that assignment button. Oops. So let's delete that. Okay. Hardware key assignments. See, that makes a little confusing because I think that's more of the device onboard memory. So what you can do is you can add profiles, like those profiles you see here. I can add them to the onboard memory. So that way when the software is not running, without the software, it's going to run, it's going to pull the profile from the keyboard and it's going to pull that black profile that I've created. That's how it used to be. I don't know where this hardware key assignment is here. So let's skip that. Lighting effects. So a lot of these lighting effects I've pulled from other profiles and kind of adjusted them the way that I want to use it. And I'm not going to go too in depth with these because there's just so much you can do with these. You can put layers upon layers of lighting schemes, and you can have them overlap, and you can just have them doing weird things. Great example of that is this cyber. Okay, so that's how that's done. Wow, I'm just kind of winging it as I go here. Um, let's see, mouse. Same thing here. You select the mouse and you have your different settings. You got your key assignments, so you can change what different buttons do. You got so many here. You could say like to have this button do something else. So a better idea would be like your back button. You can pre-program that to something else. Lighting effects, same thing. You can add different colors. You got different zones. So as you pick one of these, see that's aligning for that zone. A static color, what zone is that? That must have been right there. Why wasn't that selected one? That's weird. See, it's showing it now. But when I have this one here, you'd think it would show up what zone that is. That's weird. That might be a bug. Because when I have that selected, you'd think it would show me right here what lighting zone that is, but it doesn't. Like that's the yellow part there. You can see now what it is. You can see it's the static color. You can select the color, but it doesn't show me, what the lighting zone is. But you can set up different lighting zones, and so that they do different things. Let me show you one that I changed up. That wasn't that one. Who's the Sea of Thieves one? Yeah, okay, so the Sea of Thieves, you see it's got a blue and it's got a white stripe through it. So if you go look there, you see you can blank those out, and you can see the lighting one. Oh, it's not doing anything. So I got static color blue, and I got this rain, which is the white. So if you just look at the white, you see what it's doing. You see this, and you see I've got that as a rain setting on all, and it's alternating. But really just within white, you could change that up like that, and then every time it lights up differently. But let's leave it there. So this goes blank white, white. Okay, and then you have this other column where I do a static color of blue, and then when you add that with the rain, it does this cool effect. Hardware lighting is the same, where you can set a default profile to it. And the DPI, I'm not a big person, I'm not the type of person that changes profiles. Your DPI with every different profile depending on what game you're playing. I usually adjust it to one DPI that I like, and so that's what I've done here. I've set all of mine to about 1100, but you can add different stages and you can switch between them depending on the profile that you're using. So like if you're playing Cyberpunk, you can set that to a specific DPI. If you're playing Sea of Thieves, change it to something else. Surface calibration, if you hook it up with a mouse pad, you can measure your surface and calibrate your mouse accordingly. And device settings, it shows your battery status. You can adjust the brightness, the lights on the mouse, which is really just on and off on the mouse, I guess. But you can do this on anything. You can get to the device settings on your mouse and your keyboard and your headset. What's angle snapping? I don't think I want that anyway. You can adjust the speed of your pointer. Oh, speed pointer is independent of your DPI apparently. Okay, lighting. This is a little different here. Okay, lighting. Tell it how many fans you have. So I tell it I have 3 fans. I've got 1 lighting channel, so I don't have separate lighting channels. I just have 1. So lighting channel 1 on this profile. This has 1 lighting profile. This everything's blue. I can select multiple that I've apparently disabled because I didn't need them or care for them. But as you can see, these are profiles that I've found other people made. Just do a Google search for Corsair iCue profiles and those will come up. Okay, cooling, this is cool. So the cooling on this profile, Sea of Thieves profile, I have set to game, which I have set to a 85% usage on some of my fans. So these 3 fans are my high quality fans that I've set at a high speed, and then these I've set to a lower setting of 30%. That way I have some airflow on my bottom fans, my top fans. But the internal fans that are blowing air through the case are going to be going at a much higher speed. So it keeps my system nice and quiet. And you can change that per profile, which can be tedious, because then if you make a new profile you gotta change your fan profiles as well. But I suppose if you wanted to, you could just keep it simple and not have quite as many profiles as I do. So I think for the most part that will get you a basic understanding of how iCue works. With iCue 4, the big thing though is just the interface has changed quite a bit. I haven't quite learned where everything is quite yet, but I do like the look of it. It is quite nice and quite easy to use. Okay, so I think that's about it, and I'm sure this wasn't a great video. I don't expect it to be. I thought I'd just have fun, and fun I had. So thank you for watching.